how do you find adult friendships? I think that's a major problem. Finding friends in adulthood is difficult because we are now adults. We understand that life is not the way that we used to think it was. We all wanted to grow up so quickly. We wanted to become our parents. We wanted to start working, finish school on time, start working, have money. If only we knew that adulting is not as easy as we saw it or as it was portrayed to us in cartoons in those days, I'm very sure that most of us will still remain as kids. But now an adult, and you're realizing that, you need friendship for you to be able to climb to certain levels, which is something else I think that we are ashamed to talk about. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Rave with Mara podcast. On the show today, I have plenty gists. We're going to be talking about movies. We're going to be talking about this wonderful clothes that I'm wearing. We are also going to be talking about navigating friendship in adulthood. So yes, stay tuned with me as we go on a short break. Hi guys, welcome back to the show. I remain your host, Maranatha Abuja. Like I said, we have gists. But before we get into that gist, let's talk about this wonderful clothing that I have on. So my very good friend, Black Boy Wears, just started a new brand, and this is from one of his collections. If you like it, I'm going to be showing you what is on top of it. It's all branded t-shirts. If you have something you want on it, good and fine. If you don't, we have amazing designs for you. So I will drop a link in the description. So if you are interested in this, please don't forget to hit him up. Thank you. So now, before I go ahead, I want to tell you people, in case you see this particular brand on somebody's body, it's not my own. It's not my own. This is for my brother. And it took me back to, I think, when I had just started university. My brother likes amazing designs on clothing. So he's the person you would see with fine t-shirts. Or I remember one particular one. He did this agbada. It was unisex, sort of. And I had just come back from school. Then I think I was in 200 level. And I saw this thing. I kid you not. He just collected that clothes from the tailor that very day. And then I came back and I saw it. I wore it. I took pictures. And I posted it on Facebook. And everybody started telling me, oh, this thing is so fine. It's so fine. And the next time he wore it to church, people started saying, oh, you're wearing your elder sister's clothes. So yes, I'm that shameless elder sister who will wear her brother's clothing. And this particular one too belongs to him, although I am ordering mine, but it hasn't come yet. So this one is for him. So please don't cross him out if you see him on it, because I am the actual thief in this situation. So yes, please don't forget, it goes for 8,000 naira. Again, the link will be in the description. Now, the first thing I want to begin with, if you are a fan of TMC, do like this. Hey, God. If you don't know what TMC is, it means maybe be hiding or living under the rock or in a cave somewhere. I don't know. But if you have been a fan of TMC, I think it started 3 or 2 years ago. I think during the COVID era. Yes, that was when it started. And they just released season 4. First of all, I think that if people are not giving Perry enough credits, I get. Aminu was one of our favorite characters on the show because his character is the Hausa, billionaire, calm, romantic, chilled guy. I'm telling you guys that you are not giving Perry enough credit for his act as Aminu, because it is never easy, especially because a lot of fans like Aminu. We've all fallen in love with Aminu. Aminu has his personality. Perry has his personality. And as much as everybody has been doing I think that the guy is doing an amazing work. And Aminu is not on the show because he decided to relocate. He's no longer in Nigeria. So somebody else has to fill in the show. And I think we don't also give artists or creative people, yes, enough credit as we ought to, because we don't like change. We like, which again, if you're starting with a person, let's know that you're starting with a person. But if somebody else is trying to fill in the shoes or somebody else, please know that they are putting in their best foot forward, and appreciate them for what they are doing. But yes, so far, the men's club they're giving us enough hits. And now I'm worried that because Aminu is the guy that plays the billionaire thingy, and then there is Patrick and Jasmine and the mother on one side planning their evil. I'm worried that Aminu's wealth or his new company is somehow tied to his father's company. And the fact that Jasmine can sign for anybody, I am worried that his wealth will somehow crumble. But somebody was saying that no matter how, that guy is never going to go broke. But I don't know. I sense it. I feel like they've been dropping so much hints to tell us that, oh, this guy can go broke. Oh. Hey, God. I said I'm going to protest. If they venture to do that to my Aminu, I'm going to protest. Whether it is Ayola that is acting it or Perry that is acting it, I don't care. What matters is we have TMC to go on. And with the way Lola, and is it Twin? Yes, are going. It's making me feel like, and then you have the Tenny and Larry on one side, and then you have Tiara and what's his name? Hey, what's his name? The hey, Effa's real name. Name in the
Larry.
No, Larry. I can't remember his name. Jesus. How can I remember Hadiza and Tiara? I can't remember the fourth TMC guy. Anyway, if you're a fan of it, I'm very sure that you know who I'm talking about. Now, it's making me feel like they are just approaching the climax of the film, and I'm like, wait, are these people planning for a season 5? Because I was expecting that they will round off everything in this new season. But whatever it is, I am ready for it. What I am asking for is please leave to Minu and Aminu. Whatever happens, don't break them off. And don't make Aminu go broke. They can do whatever they want to do. I don't care. But provided that we have too many Aminu and he has his money, then good are fine. Yeah, so if you are not a fan of it, I'm telling you now that this is one show that you should get on board with. And let me know if you're a fan in the comment section who is doing it for you in this new season and who isn't. Please don't say Perry. Please. The guy is doing his absolute best and I like him. He just needs time to get his own groove instead of trying to fit into Amina's show, which is a very big show to fit into, to be frank. We started with the guy. So please don't tell me Perry. Tell me something else. Who is doing it for you? Who isn't doing it for you? And yeah. The next thing I'll talk about is Bird Box Barcelona. When I watched Bird Box, the first Bird Box, it was okay because I think we could all understand that, okay, there was something in the air and people were going crazy. You have to close your eyes and blah, 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 blah. But what is more painful for me is the fact that I had to stay up late into the night to see the movie. I was busy doing a research essay for somebody, and into the night I was really tired. I needed something to just keep my mind a bit alert and relaxed at the same time. And I got into TMC, which is the episode 9 and 10 that just got out yesterday. And after that, I decided to see Bird Box Barcelona, and I was feeling so sleepy, which is rare for me. For me to feel sleepy, even if it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or 3 a.m., it means that our movie is trash. People may come and tell me that maybe I don't know what I'm saying, but I don't understand how that movie ended where it ended. And yeah, if you understand what was going on there, please tell us. But the kind of movies that we want to be seeing in this new year is not Beth movies, in the words of my kid sister. Please give us movies that would either intrigue our minds or keep us relaxed or give us pure love and romance. Let's all be doing, oh. God, we're not a kind of movie that you're so interested that it ends and you're like, wait, what just happened? Yeah. So that's that on that. And before I get into the topic, one last thing I actually want to talk about is Cardi B. Now, there's a footage just before I recorded this episode. There's a footage of Cardi B throwing her mic at somebody, and I am here to say that I am up for it. I think that we forget that celebrities are also humans, because you go to people's shows and you want to behave anyhow. I don't understand the hatred that we have. One time I was talking about Davido and how people hate him for coming from a wealthy home, and how everybody can just be like, oh, his art is rubbish, his art is rubbish. At the same time, you people are shouting his art is rubbish. Now they go stream in sound. Like, if you don't like the guy, they're not with it. Somebody bought tickets. I went to Cardi B's show. You went for this lady's show. You didn't like her for whatever reason. Why did you go? Now you went there and you splashed water at her. You splashed water on somebody who was on stage during. So it was a quick reaction, and I love it so much. I enjoyed it. I like that when she threw the mic at her. She's left-handed. I didn't even know that until today. And when she threw the mic at her, the thing landed on her head. I was like, yes, I live for it. And immediately her bouncers sent her out of the concert. I absolutely love it. You guys start realizing that celebrities or not, they have feelings as much as we do. If you don't like somebody to throw something at you, don't do that to somebody else. If you also don't want somebody to talk ill about you or say nonsense about you, don't talk about celebrities that way. They have a life too. They also have feelings. Treat them as you want to be treated. And if you don't like any artist for whatever reason, don't freaking go to their show. It's not by force. So yeah, that's on the gist part. Now we're going to get into how to navigate adult friendship. Okay, how do I begin this thing? You know how we, as adults, I've heard a couple of people complain that, oh, my friends are not in the same town as me, or, oh, I can't go out as much anymore because I don't have new friends, or my friends are not, this and that, or even in different towns or different cities. And I didn't know the extent to which, when people tell you these things, sometimes let me use myself as an example now. I didn't used to see it as something that was important or crucial or, how do you say now? Essential. Yes, I didn't see it as something that was essential because I grew up sort of as a loner. And I don't mean that I didn't have people around me or anything, but because I did a bit, okay, so when I was born, I went to stay with my dad's younger sister, and because she had just me in the house for a very long time before she took in, it meant that I only had to converse or communicate with people only when I got to school or at church. So and then in my neighborhood, she would tell me to stay indoors and whatnot. So by the time I went back to live with my family, I realized that, well, I was a lot more advanced in my thinking. You know when people say this thing like, I grew up too quickly? Sometimes people roll their eyes like, what do you mean by that? Well, it is true. A lot of kids outgrow their childhood a lot quicker than some. And sometimes is maybe due to childhood trauma or broken homes or whatever. But in my own case, it was just a thing of, I had grown up in Lagos, Abuja, which was a bit rough at the time. So I learned or saw a couple of things which I shouldn't know or I shouldn't have known, right, as a child. So by the time I got reconnected with my siblings, I was climbing into junior secondary school. My brother was in primary 3 and my sister was just starting out, I think primary 1. So we barely had anything to discuss or converse about. And thankfully, I made a new friend, a childhood friend, Helen. And it became cool because I figured, okay, we had school themes to discuss or talk about. Now, as the years progressed, we moved to Abuja, and I realized, okay, you need people. But I have always been able to keep to myself. I've always been able to stay indoors, even now, which I'm going to get into that story a little later. I got into junior secondary school and I know, okay, you need friends. You need to have people you can collect notes from. You need to be able to say, oh, I'm going. But I now noticed that maybe because of how I was raised earlier, it became a difficult thing for me to visit people. So if you were my friend at that time and you weren't coming to visit me, or it wasn't that we're seeing in church or at school, then it meant that we were not going to be friends, because somehow I I felt or I believed that friendship was a necessity for when you are out. Other than that, like, if you leave me, I can be by myself. Now, even when I went on to uni, I would know that I have friends, a lot of acquaintances. But if you now say, okay, Mara, who is your best friend or who are your closest friends? It became a serious problem for me because I felt like friendship for a lot of people was as a means of, okay, probably we both belong to the same social class, or we are both brainiacs by virtue of being in the same neighborhood or in the same school, we are friends. So when we meet or we're going somewhere, we always have something to talk about, right? But beyond that, beyond the superficial, how do you make friends with people, or how do you connect with people that you would say, okay, this person is my person? I didn't get to experience any of that until I was in maybe my senior secondary school. And then when I went to uni, and even with uni, I found out that, oh, I could stay indoors for a month and I would not even feel the slightest way or bored that, oh, I don't have friends coming in or I don't have friends going out. But yo, hey, in this my adulthood is teaching me or telling me that, Maranatha, you cannot be a loner and you can no longer be a loner. So now I realized that when I was working, I was going to a physical office. I didn't have a problem with, though, well, I would say that I didn't used to be bored. So I wasn't that person that you'd say, Mara, what's up? Are you bored? I could never be that person. Because again, I had like a lot of acquaintances. There were people at different stages of my life. Like if I say I'm going to the church, there's at least more than 10 people that I talk to at church. If I say I'm going to school, there are how many people that I can talk to at school? If I'm going to the market, like that. But I now realized that when I stopped going to a physical office and I started working remotely, it dawned on me for the first time that I could no longer stay indoors for months without talking to anybody. I mean, physically, because of course I have friends who we are now like really close, like my best friends, and we get to speak on the phone. But I'm now realizing as an adult that, that can no longer fly, because there are times that you're going through something. I think that for us adults now, most of the time when you hear that somebody says they are depressed, I think is from a lack of social interaction. And social media gives a sense of false friendship. Let me explain what that means, literally. When you feel like you have a lot of friends, you have people in your corner, have you tried at any point of your life to not update anything on your Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp for 2 weeks or a week before, and you found out that up to 10 people called you? So on social media, I see these days people say, oh, I don't need friends, I don't want friends. Well, maybe I used to be in that category, but I don't think I've ever like explicitly said that I don't need friends. I just realized that I could do without having physical friendship. So I could have people, oh, I'll talk to on the phone, hey, how are you? Are you fine? Checking up on you. Or people that, because I like gist, obviously. I have friends who call me and we gist for hours, right? But I've always been that person that I felt like I could stay indoor, I could stay on my own for weeks, for even a year, and I would not feel like I need social interaction or physical contact with anybody, and I would be fine. But when I started working remotely, I realized that, you need people. Now, the first thing for me was, I found out that my time and the time of my friends was not aligned, which was my first problem. So by the time people are waking up in the morning to go to work, I am sleeping, or I'm just trying to wake up from the bed. So if you're calling me maybe something around 7, 8 in the morning, as you would say, oh, I had a bad dream, or I had a dream, or you want to give me a gist, I will not pick your call. So for a while, some of my closest friends, I wasn't talking to them for weeks. Not because I didn't want to, or they didn't try on their end, but because our timing did not align. And I know one of my friends called me out on it. She called me one day and she says, I get that like I'm busy and you're busy, and sometimes things can just go on its own, like we didn't plan. I can say that, oh, don't call me now, I'll call you back later, and sometimes I'll forget. But from your own end, I've just noticed that you don't even try at all. And I had to like sit down that day. I felt bad in a way because I felt like, truthfully, she tried. She has been trying. Like, she consistently tries to call me even when she's like exhausted from work. She still calls me to say, yo, what's up? Are you at work yet? Or are you working already? Or are you busy? What's up? What's going on? And then when she notices like there's a change in my mood or something, we are not in the same city, for emphasis, she would still ask me, yo, I noticed something. Maybe sometimes she won't tell me instantly, but then I wake up to a text message like, oh, there's something off with you. Are you okay? Are you fine? And which is what I want to talk about now. So again, when people say that I have too many friends or I have a lot of friends, have you tried going off any of your social medias for like 2 weeks or a month? Figure out those friends that you think you have, how important are you to them? You know, there are times that we think we have friends, but people who we have are just people who talk to us when they need help or come to us when they need something. When you now need something, who do you go to? I mean, something that is not even material. When you genuinely need somebody to help you through a hard time you're going through, how many of those people on your social media you would actually refer to as friends? So social media is that platform. When you post something, everybody is trying to fit you at that point. Oh, yo, you're so beautiful. You're fine. You're handsome. Oh, congratulations on this thing. What? Now, it makes you feel like you have a family out there, which, yes, so in social media, people are like a family. But I don't think you can exchange or switch people that you know on social media for actual people in your life. No matter how difficult life gets or no matter how busy life gets, you can never be too busy for your friends, because those your friends are the people that have kept you going for the years that you have been going. I saw a tweet where somebody says that if you don't make up for this life, nobody will know say you try. The only receipts to show that actually, Maranatha, you were trying to do this thing at so and so point, you failed 100 and something times. The only people who are there to see you through those times are your friends. All those social media people, when you tell them that you failed, nobody wants to hear that. Or that you are trying, or you've tried for so many years, nothing is working out for you. None of them is going to understand that. So the people that understand or know that you've been at this thing for several years are your friends. And again, there's no receipts to show that, oh, you've been trying. Last, you died in penury. Nobody is going to understand that except the people who are your closest, who see you when you're toiling through all those things. So the first thing I'm going to say is that in adulthood, you can't do it alone. Which, like my friend, you are going to have to be intentional about it. I was saying last week that 20 friends cannot play for 20 years. Not because you guys fought or anything, but just that you guys took different paths or direction to life. Meaning that at some point you realize, oh, this is not where I want to go, or this is not what I want to do. And this person's values no longer aligns with mine, or we are not even as close as we thought we were. We were only close because we live in the same neighborhood, or our mothers or parents are friends, or because we were both at a competition together or something like that. So some sorts of those friendships are always superficial. They don't last. Now, when you become an adult who do not have childhood friends, or you're now realizing that, oh, around you right now, you barely have people in your inner circle, people that you can rely on when you're going through a tough time. You don't have that. What you need to now start thinking about is, what kind of people am I looking for? Which is the first thing. Second thing is, this person that I'm looking out for, does the person want this sort of a relationship or friendship that I want? Because as adults, you cannot be playing the because I like sports, you must like sports. Because I am a whatever, you must be this kind of person. But what matters is, if your values aligns with this person, then good and fine. So what I'm hinting at right here is intentionality. As an adult, you need to be intentional, like 100% intentional about your friends, especially because these are no longer acquaintances. These are people that you're going to let into your life. I remember all of my friends saying that something was happening and somehow he felt that it was an evil eye. it was meant to be a joke. But I sat down and I thought about it critically. But there are actually people who are in our lives not because they love us or because they understand what we are trying to do. They are there to monitor us for when we fall. So they can go back and rejoice to say, oh, it thinks say if you do this thing, or she thinks say if he gets this thing. Thank God, and I know say she no go fit get them. So there are actually people in our lives like that. And there are times where we make that mistake of thinking they are our friends. So when we're children, it's okay to be friendly to everybody. But now that you're an adult, there are certain behaviors that you should never allow close to you. Now, if you are looking for friends, that intentionality has to be like key. I can literally talk to anybody, but the problem is now, there are certain things that I know that I'm going through that I can't discuss with certain friends. Not because I think they're going to judge me, but because I know that it is not their forte. The same way that maybe some of my friends will call me for certain situations that they know I can't help them. Maybe I would laugh about it with them and maybe calm them in a certain kind of way. But there is always a particular thing that each problem requires. I was saying one time, I think I wrote a piece. This was far back as 2020 or 2021, where I was saying that as adults, we have learned, which is something else I'm telling you today. We have all learned as adults that it is necessary to have friends for different situations. It doesn't mean that you don't have best friends who know exactly what is wrong with you, exactly what is going on in your life, but you have friends for certain situations. Meaning, if I now wake up that, I'm going to the club. I have friends that I know, okay, in this club that we're going to, these are the people that are going to be vibing with me with the same energy. If I want to discuss money problems or money matters, how to upscale, I have friends that I know that, okay, if I drop this idea today, bam, I then go say, okay, I think you should do it this way. I think you should do it this way. But again, there are also some particular friends that you know they are all around. These ones are like your ride or die, your best friends. Because whichever energy you come with, they are coming with it. So another thing that is very important to note in your adult friendship navigation is synergy. Synergy is key because I can't be on this frequency like, oh, now I'm on a high jumping level. What is happening? What is going on? I find it looking at me like, you're making noise. What's happening here? So you need to be able to have people in your life or in your corner who understands how you move. Be it your mood, be it your season, be it whatever. But one time I had said that we need to be aware of people who are with us because of the gain, be it material or be it financial gains that they are trying to get from us. Sometimes it works. Again, I say that you don't just see a person and approach them because, I don't know, something might have attracted you to this person. So it's almost crazy to say that you are not befriending people for financial gains or for material gains. Sometimes it's subconscious and sometimes it's conscious. Meaning that I may go to an event and I like how this person looks, physically, how they are dressed. And I'm like, I want to become her friend. I like how she talks or I like what she's passionate about. You may not do it from a place of, I want to gain something from them at that point. But again, the kind of friends that we make is what help us to climb up. Let me put it that way. Climb up in our journey through life because I speak, I have a podcast, I go somewhere and I meet somebody who also has a podcast. I know that already we are going to try to help each other grow because we are going to be doing idea sharing, which is not a bad idea. But now the problem is if you start to make friendship for financial gains, then at the end of the day, is always going to be one person that is dependent on the other, which now makes it look like a leech kind of behavior or leech and what do you call that? Parasitic behavior. There are people who are genuinely friends with people because they like their vibe and they want them to, vibe together and whatnot. But there are also people who meet others just because they know that if I am your friend, I'm not going to suffer. Or if I'm your friend, if I have financial problem, you're going to help me. So what you do need to look out for is that you need to, first of all, know that as much as you have pure intention, you can call a person your best friend and they would refer to you as an acquaintance. And it's usually because you are genuinely in search for a friend, but they are looking at you from a place of, oh, this is just somebody I talk to once in a while who can help me attain this goal that I'm trying to attain. One of my friends would say that I don't think anybody's making genuine adult friendships because everybody is looking to gain one thing or the other. It may be true. What is true is that you need to be intentional, both with the friends that you've had before and the friends that you're now trying to make. I tried to make a new friend 2 years ago. It did work because we kept talking about how we knew that being friends with each other was going to be a thing of being intentional. At the end of the day, it turned out that this person was only friends with me because I was helping her out with something at that point. When that thing finished, she withdrew back. You cannot do it alone. Even me, I know that there are times I've called up. I think I said the story about when I got my voter's card. It was somebody I didn't know. We didn't used to talk like that. And then I had said that, oh, please, I need help and blah, blah, blah. The next thing he was like, don't worry, I'll make a call for you. And the next day, he got my card for me. It was with him until a few days to elections, and I went to get it. We need people, acquaintances, friends, or best friends. But when you are faking being best friends with somebody because you want them to keep giving you favors, you're a wicked person. I guess that, like, we all need somebody to help us with something or the other, and it's okay, but it's crazy if the only time you message people or send people texts is when you need something. Like, please be nice now. And I guess it's like, don't even try to form fake friendship. Don't form, because you're feeling weird. Because I've also been in that situation where somebody helped me out with something, and I know that I feel compelled to reach out to this person, which should be the normal thing. Somebody helps you out with something, try and form genuine friendship with them, not the fake ass one where you're like, let me just keep talking to this person so that it doesn't look like I'm a thief or I'm a gold digger. But if you don't have anything to say with this person, don't just drag it and make it look like, oh, you are my best friend, but deep down you know that, like, you're just being weird or just being someone. Because trust me, we are humans. We all know when somebody is forming friendship with us. I also remember that my friend Helen telling me that it's my fault sometimes, because whenever people reach out to me, I am that person that I don't know how to hoard information, but people have burnt me so bad that I think that they should be ashamed the next time they come to ask me for something and I provide information for them. And then when I ask something in return, they either say laugh aloud or somehow they just circumvent the entire conversation from it. It's crazy. You think that we don't know that you're doing this thing. Navigating adult friendship is difficult, to be frank. It's difficult because now you are unable to tell who is friends with you for you, or who is friends with you because of what you can offer them or what they can get from you. It's crazy. But again, please, I'm begging you people, don't be shameless. If you want to be friends with somebody, be friends with somebody because you like them. Not because, oh, I am bored at this instance and I want to talk to you because you help me get out of the border. You're a good conversationalist. Because it's crazy. We know that's what you're trying to do, literally. And it's disrespectful. Because we know that ordinarily you have the people that you will go to for things. And if you think that because everybody on your social media talk to you, they are your friends, you must be delusional. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I know that I've used plenty gist to kill you people. Come back next week. And share, please share, comment. You guys are not commenting. Please, I'm begging. Subscribe, like, share my content, and come back next week again. See you. Bye-bye.